Hello, everyone. I am David Lewis. I am a practicing Gnostic of the Sethian school of Gnostic thought, as well as a priest within the Gnostic Union. Today, I'm back with a new short Gnostic sermon, When Eternity Rewrites Our Priorities. This sermon came to me one night while I was randomly reading the Apocalypse of Paul. Although the book isn't seen as a traditional Gnostic text, I encourage all of you who view themselves as Gnostics to give it a read. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the text, the Apocalypse of Paul is a revelation allegedly written by the Apostle Paul and came to be discovered centuries after Paul's death. The story of his finding is actually quite interesting. A man living in the house that belonged to Paul is visited by an angel one night who tells the man to break up the foundations of the home, and there he will find a book and to make it public. At first, the man thinks it's a delusion, and the angel comes to him again a third time, chastises the man until he digs it up. He finds a marble box and finds the revelation of Paul in it, as well as a pair of sandals that was said to have belonged to the apostle. In the Apocalypse of Paul, Paul is taken to the third heaven and guided by an angel that shows him what awaits the righteous. He is then taken to a place called the City of Christ, where he meets various patriarchs from the Bible, including Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The angel also shows him the torments of hell, and it reads like a horror story. Terrifying angels are said to torment the wicked and people who are lukewarm in their faith. People are said to be chewing on their own tongues, and angels are said to use iron instruments that torment the ungodly. The imagery reminds me of the Hellraiser movies, and what I find interesting is when Paul sees these things and asks the angel, why are these people receiving these punishment? Very specific sins are pointed out, like a deacon stealing offerings from the congregation and people who are involved in usury. But the punishments in hell are not the topic of this sermon. In heaven, Paul sees the righteous who delights in the blessings of God has given them, and he asks the angels, are these the things, or are these the only things that God has promised for them? The angel says, no, there are more things. And when the righteous sees these things, they will cry out and weep and say, why did we utter a word from our mouth to irritate our neighbor, even for a day? When I read this, it really spoke to me and got me thinking about this in the light of death. What are the things that are going on in our lives right now that when we lay on our deathbed and take our final breath and slip into eternity will seem small and insignificant? What will be our regrets? Death, especially in the Western world, is something we are taught to either fear or not give that much thought about at all. Death to many is seen as the ultimate enemy, and even in this Easter season, for millions of Christians around the world, the sacrifice of Jesus is seen as the conquering of death. But clearly, this death is not about the death of the physical body. For every man, even the men and women that walked with Jesus, are all dead. The fact of the matter is, we will all meet death one day. Every day we wake up, we are closer to eternity than we realize. Indeed, today, many woke up believing that it would be just a normal day, and it was their last, at least on this plane of existence. In the Apocalypse of Paul, the righteous who cry out are crying out because in the light of eternity, they have come to realize that the trivial matters of life on earth do not stand in comparison with eternity. And had they known what was truly waiting for them, something like an argument with their neighbor would have seemed insignificant. Our short existence on earth, compared to the larger reality of eternity, is drawn upon by Jesus in the secret book of James. In it, Jesus says, consider how long the world has existed before you, and how long it will last after you. Then you will discover that your life lasts but a single day, and your suffering a single hour. Imagine your life up until this moment being one single day, and every day after today is the rest of eternity. What grudge are you holding on to that you need to let go of? What fears are you running from that in reality will seem like smoke once you confront them? What dreams do you have that you are afraid to act on because you live in fear of what others will say? Those same others who they themselves are mortal just like you. Who do you need to say I love you to today? Who do you need to let know how you truly feel today? Who do you need to forgive? Many people who have near-death experiences tell how they come back. They come back with a profound reorientation of their life. Even something as the simple of leaving the body and having a bird's eye view of their loved ones mourning over them changes their perspective. Their experience of seeing the realms beyond changes the priorities in their life. This total reorientation of one's life after an overwhelming divine experience is really what metanoia or repentance means, not a simple turn away from what we consider moral sin. Look at the world of politics today, how it's turned brother from brother, families torn apart due to political opinions on men and women who they do not know and do not care about them. All these arguments back and forth. What will all this mean when we stare into eternity? Observe how the stresses of everyday life make you feel. The commute to work, dealing with difficult customers and bosses, bills that need to be paid, the need for money, the need for food. What seems like a never ending rat race will come to an end someday. What will be truly important? One of my favorite parables spoken by Jesus comes from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 12. Jesus tells of a rich man whose mind is set on building larger barns for his crops. He tells himself he is good for years to come, and yet that night God says to him, "Fool, your soul is required of you this night." See, death does not and will not wait for you to ponder over what is important. It will not wait for you to check on a friend or reach out to your mother or go on that vacation you need to go on to spend more time with your children. In the Apocalypse of Paul, the angel says that the dead will begin to weep again. They come to realize that what probably did seem like a big deal when they relived their lives on earth means nothing now. And had they known what was waiting for them, they wouldn't have given any energy to even uttering words against their neighbor. In closing, I'm not here to tell you that blessings await you in heaven after death. I'm not here to tell you that what you should believe about what happens after death or some angel will come and guide you. Truthfully, although man has strong opinions and deep beliefs about many things, the truth of the matter is that at best we have limited knowledge and at worst we don't know anything. What I am here to tell you, and that we all know to be the truth, is that you will leave this life one day. Ask yourself, what will you leave behind when you do? What will you realize was important all along when you stare into eternity? I leave you with this story to ponder on, the story of Mary and Martha from the Gospel of Luke chapter 10. Now keep in mind, this is ancient Judea. What Martha is doing isn't only because she invites Jesus into her home. As a woman in this time, this would have been expected of her by society. Luke chapter 10. And Jesus and his disciples were on their way. He came to a village where a woman named Martha opened up her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet listening to what he was saying. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, "Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do all this work by myself? Tell her to help me." "Martha, Martha," the Lord answered, "you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken from her."